morning or afternoon, everyone. This is Mrs. Holman. I am so excited to join you today and for the rest of the week. And this week, we are going to embark on a journey. We're going to be reading detectives, and we're going to be looking at making inferences and drawing conclusions. So let me share my screen, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to get started. So as I said, we are making inferences and drawing conclusions. And our learning objective this week is I can make inferences and draw conclusions based on what I already know, my background knowledge and evidence from the text. So I want you to think about that. What does that mean to you? Because we draw conclusions and make inferences every single day. For example, if I go outside and the sky is a little gray and a little dark, then I can infer, because I know usually when it's like that, there's bad weather, and the evidence is that the sky is a little gray. So now my inference or my conclusion is it's going to rain. So what do? I run back in, I get my rain boots, I get an umbrella, and then I go back out to face the day. So it's something we do every single day. So this week, we are going to explore this a little bit more and become reading detectives ourselves and look at how we use this. So again, it's about how you use what you already know or your background knowledge with the information from the text, and it could be a picture to make your conclusion or your inference. And so right now, I want you to go ahead and make your own anchor chart. Every great detective has their playbook, and this is our playbook for the week. So you are going to have your own personal anchor chart. So every lesson that we have, you're able to pull this out. So just grab a piece of paper, get a pen, some pencils, maybe some crayons to color, and go ahead and create this anchor chart. And as it says, drawing conclusions or making inferences means that you make an educated guess. Authors don't always explain everything that happens. They don't tell you every single thing. You have to some people will say read between the lines, and that's where you will find your inferences, and that is where you will have to draw conclusions. So you have to use clues to figure out what is not said. What you already know, those are your experiences and background knowledge, and the details that you read in the text. And again, it doesn't have to be text. It could be a picture or a situation, but that is how you get inferences and conclusions. So go ahead and pause me and do your own anchor chart. I'm glad that you're back. Now we're gonna dig in and do a warm-up activity for making inferences and drawing conclusions. So John went to a pizza party with his friends at a bowling alley. When it was John's turn to bowl, his friend noticed a grease spot on his shirt. We can infer or conclude that John received the grease spot from, put your thinking caps on. This is when we're getting into detective mode. So I need to start looking at the evidence in the text. So I know, 1, they went to a pizza party. Okay. 2, he's at a bowling alley. And now he has a grease spot on his shirt. My background knowledge would tell me pizza can be greasy, so that could cause the stain. And bowling alleys, while fun, can be crowded, and someone could have bumped into him. It could have just been a place where it was easy for him to have an accident or a spill. So I conclude or infer that John received the grease spot from the pizza falling. What about you? And again, it could be that you say, no, Mrs. Holman, he could have gotten that grease spot on his shirt from anything. Well, he could. But again, remember, making inferences and drawing conclusions means that we use our background knowledge, but we also have to use evidence in order to do that. And so there's no evidence in this particular text that would lead us to believe that the grease spot came from something else. Let's continue. Now let's do this with a picture. And this poor little girl, let's see, she has a thermometer. She has her hand on her head. Ooh, she has on what looks like a robe, maybe some pajamas, but it's not real. It's not like her dress clothes or her go out to school clothes. And she looks like she's maybe sad or about to cry. So how did I get all of that? What can I infer from all of that? Let's see. Maybe she's sick, right? Because my evidence is she has a thermometer. And so by looking at that and from what I know about a thermometer, that usually means you're sick. She gets to stay home from school. So if you have a temperature and you're sick, normally you get to stay home. Usually the rule is 24 hours. You may still go to school, but you're supposed to stay home. And she is not happy. Now, why would I think she's not happy? She looks like she's about to cry. It's not a great feeling to be sick. She could be in pain. So these are all of the ways that we drew inferences from this picture. So you have to think about all of the time. Again, we're going to continue to go over this as reading detectives. What is it that our background knowledge tells us with the evidence from the text or the picture that now that we can pull together to give us our inference or our conclusion? So what did we learn today? Well, we learned about inferences and conclusions, and we learned that you have to have evidence plus what you already know to go ahead and give you that inference. I want you to take a minute and put your thinking cap on and write down one thing you learned. Go ahead and pause me. Welcome back. Hopefully you could think of something that you learned. It could even have been something that you did in the anchor chart or in the picture or warm-up that we talked about. As we end today, I want you to remember what our learning target is for this week, and that is I can make inferences and draw conclusions based on what I already know, my background knowledge or experiences and evidence from the text. We are going to say that over and over and again. And remember, a good detective has a playbook, and so that anchor chart is a part of your playbook. So I want to make sure you have that at tomorrow's lessons. You have a picture of the day activity for when we leave, but I want to go ahead and go over it with you. So let's go ahead and go to the activity. So when you get off, the picture of the day is just a reinforcement of what we did today. And so this is the picture that you're going to see. And here's the chart. So there's observations, evidence from the text or the picture. So what evidence from the picture will support your inference about where the boys are going? So you need to look at this picture and fill in this chart based on everything that you see from the text or from the picture. And then we have another picture, same thing, someone with about, what is that, 6 dogs, maybe 5 or 6 dogs. And again, you have to use the evidence from the picture to answer the questions so that you can see, so we can see how well you do with inferences and conclusions. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. I've had a wonderful time reading detectives. I look forward to you joining me tomorrow so that we can dig even further into making inferences and drawing conclusions. So come tomorrow prepared to have your detective hat on, and I will see you later. Thanks a lot and have a great rest of your day.